This is not Pension B. This is the North versus South FPL podcast. Any Pension B fans right now who are thinking to themselves they want to get a bit of insurance, you're on the wrong podcast, okay? This is myself, Heath. This is my co-host, State. How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Yeah, definitely not Pension B. We're not that. We're getting close to pension age, but we're not quite there yet.
We've got a fully packed podcast for you today, and we've got a lot going on, so we'll crack on straight away. This week we've got the game week review, we've got our shit list, we've got our North versus South mini league updates, we've got our scouted teams for the Southern section, we've got a North versus South predictions / results, we've got a game week preview. At the very end, we've got our quiz, which State has very kindly prepared for me. Mate, what did you think of the football this week? Ignoring fantasy football, what have you thought of the football this weekend?
Goals.
And some great goals, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, my favourite goal. And listen, I'm not saying this to upset you, although that is an added bonus, Heath. But the Saka goal was rather nice, wasn't it? And for Arsenal, I thought that were a really good goal. There were some crackers in there, and again, the Spurs goal yesterday. Which one was it? Son's goal, I think. Yeah, I mean, just kept the ball well, and then all of a sudden just pushed it forward quickly, and again, got in. That was a good goal. But obviously, there were other good goals as well. I won't hog them all. I mean, what did you think, pal?
Mate, I mean, obviously, I'm going to start off with Cucho Hernandez's overhead kick against Arsenal.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. I mean, I don't think anyone can complain when you lose a game of football and you concede the 3 goals we conceded against Arsenal. Yeah, we made a couple mistakes, but the finishing was incredible.
Yeah.
And I was getting a lot of stick and giving some back from some Arsenal mates tonight at football. But the fact is, you just
Musa scoring. Musa.
Yes. What is going on there? I mean, to be honest, if he wasn't our captain, he would be on my shit list, because ever since I've got rid of him, he's been scoring goals and getting assists.
Hey, I suppose the good thing for you guys is you were back scoring a couple of goals again at home. After the home form's not been good under Woy. Yes, you didn't get the win, but the fact that you're scoring goals again is a good sign, because that you're going to need to start scoring again to have any chance of getting out of trouble. So yeah, no, it was good to see, and yeah, like you said, the overhead kick was rather nice as well.
I think I want to bring up a couple other things as well. So Watkins' goal for Villa, I thought that was pretty special. But I was watching that, and then I saw the Watkins goal, and I thought, that's a fantastic finish. He's taking that well, great build up. And then the Eaaagggllleeesss goal, the Chambers pass. Where did that come from? Callum Chambers didn't know he had it in him.
I remember that Callum Chambers has been around some cracking players when he was at Arsenal. True. I mean, did he have a bit of time there when Cesc were there? Maybe.
Mate, that was a Cesc Fabregas pass, 100%.
Yeah, but if it wasn't Cesc, he was definitely there for a time when Santi Cazorla were there, and Cazorla could do something like that as well. He has it in his locker, basically, to be honest with you. So fair play to him.
And then the other thing I was going to say is Ivan Toney's penalty. The guy plays that penalty exactly how you would do in five-a-side. I don't know if you've taken many five-a-side penalties, mate, but you just look at the keeper, you take your one-step run up, and you just hope that you're getting in his head somehow. And with Toney, he just seems to know how to do that, to be fair. And
yeah, very much like you said, the old five-a-side type of thing, and fair play to him, put him away, and big win as well for them, to be honest with you, wasn't it?
Massive, mate, massive. Needed that. I still think there's a lot for them to do to get properly out of trouble, but that's a really good start for them. Yeah,
Sancho scored a good goal as well for Man United. That was a good goal, a good counter-attack from United, one of their very few moments in that game, and he took his chance. Definitely starting to show why United spent the money on him a lot more. United are obviously still really poor, but I think Sancho's, since start of the new year, has picked up in terms of getting a few goals, a couple of assists. He's playing every game now. Clearly Ranić fancies him, and he should do, because he's looked dangerous in a lot of games as well now. So like I said, it was a nice little finish. A little bit fragile at the back a bit now, sometimes. That was another good goal, but like I said, City were, they were just too good for United.
They were clinical, weren't they, mate?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they didn't really score any world class, goals like you sometimes associate with City. But I tell you what, like you said, ruthless, absolutely ruthless. Come back after a couple of shady results, and then they've got a good win at Everton, which Everton were really good at home at, and then they absolutely destroyed Man United 4-1. And I think this tells you, pretty much everything you need to know about that one. To be fair, there's a big gulf in Manchester, and the gulf's Manchester City big time, isn't it? So.
And did you hear about the robbery at Leicester?
The robbery.
Yeah, mate, it was daylight robbery.
Daylight robbery.
How Leeds United didn't get anything out of that game the other day. Unbelievable, mate. I mean, I'm happy, as I'm sure you are. I wouldn't say Leeds were all over Leicester, but I would say that Leeds created a lot of good chances, and then Leicester just seemed to hit them on the counter-attack and score their goal, and then that was it, 1-0. I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
I can't say there's much sympathy from either you or I, but at the same time,
no.
I mean, you got to laugh when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, especially the way Leeds have been sort of shipping goals. They obviously weren't as fragile at the back, but like you said, they did have chances and seemed to play, better. But it obviously wasn't to be for Leeds. Never mind. I said to all my Leeds mates, I was just like really smug about it. I was like, well, at least you only conceded one. It's a huge improvement. So there you go. They didn't take that very well, but yeah, they'll get over it. To be honest with you, I'm sure they will once they're back in Championship, winning games properly again. It's always fun to see Leeds struggle, as we know. So,
yeah, I was just thinking, is Paul Heckenbottom in a job at the moment? I don't know.
Probably not. Might be soon. Might be very soon.
All right. Well, let's get on to FPL. Let's start talking about FPL, and let's kind of have a look at. I mean, this is Tuesday night, by the way, and it's game week 28. So this is our game week review, even though we're still halfway through the week because there's a lot of doubles at the moment. So, State, do you want to run us through how your game week's going so far?
Well, yeah, it's not going badly so far. I'm on 67 points, so I'm well above the average point score, and I've still got 6 players to play on Thursday night. So yeah, I've got a chance here of getting some good points. It all rests on one team basically, though. Really, to see if I'm going to score some big points, I think. But we'll see. So at the moment, I've got Mr. Sarr in goal with 3 points. Wolves are being an absolute stinker. They're not keeping clean sheets anymore, and this is a big problem when you've got 3 Wolves players in your team. So, I thought they might have done better against Palace. To be fair, but Palace, to be fair to them, VA was definitely getting them, firing a bit, especially in recent weeks. So Palace on a bit of form. They've got Watford in the next game though, so hopefully that could work well. But yeah, Sarr 3 points, Cody 1 point, Kilman 1 point, Cancelo just 2 points because obviously United got the goal. 4 goals for City, and Cancelo doesn't get an assist or anything.
Chance, though, didn't he? He had that
he
volley.
Did. Yeah, he
Great
did.
effort.
I mean, if only could have done what Mahrez did with his first goal. That'd have been better. Like, it just goes in. That helps.
That would have been nice.
But no, yeah, it would. Brandon Williams 1 point from Norwich. I went for him over the Burnley or others on my bench because I thought with Brentford's fault, I thought Norwich could maybe sneak a clean sheet there, but obviously Ivan Toney had different ideas, and well, you're not going to keep clean sheets if you give a couple of penalties away, most likely.
What did you think of that second penalty, the high boot?
I think that's something that normally you see it given anywhere over on the pitch, but in the penalty area, you probably don't see it get given very often.
Don't you think, like, I could be wrong here, right? But I feel that there's a couple of things that could happen where, like, for that, for instance, there's no intent to injure the person. He's watching the ball. For me, I would think that, and I think maybe
indirect free kick.
That's exactly what I was going to suggest. Yeah. And it's the same with, there's a handful of things that you could say in the penalty area where you'd say, do you know what? That's not that bad. That's not an intentional kind of foul or something, and therefore there could be that element of having an indirect free kick instead of, because what are people going to do? Start kind of kicking people in the head just for a laugh, just so that they're not going to give away penalties. It's just not going to happen.
When there's intent there, don't you? You can see when there's an intent to when you go in high boot, like we've seen some people like get absolutely fly kicked in the chest and whatnot. But I think you're not wrong. I think something like an indirect free kick would make a little bit more sense, to be honest on that one. It is harsh. Like I said, though, that's given as a foul anywhere else on the pitch. You know it is. Even if there's not intent, a high boot's dangerous play. So
I also think, right, and another thing, if you were to say anyone who pulls a shirt or anything like that, the same thing, I reckon people would stop doing it because I think referees would feel more obliged to give it.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's not going to pretty much guarantee a goal, but it still puts a lot of pressure on the defending team if your players are constantly grabbing the shirts. So I know it's a foul, as is kicking, kind of like high boot, it's a foul. You can feel it within the crowd, or you know how you feel when you're watching a game live, and you kind of think to yourself, oh god, it's not really a foul, but I guess it is.
No, I completely agree with what you're saying on that, and it is one of those that's harsh, but like I said, it's a foul anywhere else on the pitch. So given the current rules, you've got to give it still in the penalty area. It's not just because it's a penalty area doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. So by the rules, he's done the right thing, but I think I do agree with you that it should be more, especially if it's not seen as deliberately, intentionally sort of dangerous, reckless. See, there was nothing reckless about it, I didn't think, and that's a key word they use when it comes to sending off, isn't it? Well, that could be there to do, but then it's like, then you've got two different rules for a high boot. If it's if it's in the area and it's deemed not reckless, it was unintentional, and it's an indirect free kick, then you've got another bit of our problem then. So was it reckless? Was it not? And that'll take a long more time. So it's a tough one to do, but I do see what you're saying. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Williams, I think he only got 1 point for me because of that anyway, because they conceded goals. He didn't get involved in Pookie's goal either, so no good on that. Trent Alexander-Arnold got 12 points for me.
That was offside.
Got another assist.
Lukaku was offside the other day in the League Cup final. That Mane was offside.
Oh, yeah. He definitely is. Liverpool are getting a bit of the rub of the green in the decisions now. They always claim that they don't get the rub of the green, but they do quite a bit, to be fair. Yeah, the ball was still, awesome, by Trent.
It was a very good ball, to be fair.
I mean, so, he got that, he got clean sheet bonus, he got 3 bonus points, so nice 12 points from Trent for me. I went for Salah as captain. I mean, it's not.
Who were you thinking about going?
I was thinking about De Bruyne, and because I was like thinking, I fancied City to give United a drumming, to be fair. And I know he'd be instrumental. So I was thinking about going De Bruyne on that front, because there were no one who had 2 games in my side who were like thinking, I'm definitely going to put it on there. I wasn't going to put it on the Wolves ones because I wasn't 100% to get 2 clean sheets with the Palace game in particular. So I was thinking sort of maybe De Bruyne, but then no reason not to pick Salah. His form last few games, he scored against Norwich. He's got 10 points against Norwich, 18 points against Leeds. So, I think, you're there thinking, well, that's it. But, Liverpool, I suppose, had a fair few games recently. He was bound to have an off week, maybe at 1 point. So, yeah, it didn't work out well for me with him only getting the 3 points. So he got me 6 points. So not as great. De Bruyne, star man, 18 points. Obviously, 2 goals, 1 assist, 3 bonus points. Cracking game from him. I mean, both in the box finishes. You probably wouldn't think that from De Bruyne, would you? Most likely, because they played the false 9, didn't they? City. De Bruyne was like sort of pushing on a lot more.
I love De Bruyne's passing range, but I like it. I like so much to see him getting forward and being
I agree, because I think when he gets forward, he adds plenty, because he's smart in his positional place, like in the area. He sits off slightly, and the second goal, which were just crazy how it eventually got to him, his second goal in that game. But it was just, he just stood there and waited for hopefully a bit of a snippet, and he got it, to be honest with you. There you go. I mean, his first finish was just, a nice little cutback from Bernardo, and United's marking were poor, but he was right place, right time, and he ain't going to miss from there. So he got me 18 points. Mahrez got me 14 points.
Another offside. The fourth goal.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
that
Again, Liverpool fans, I'm not coming just after you. I'm coming
no,
up.
we're not.
That's
Again,
ridiculous.
But again, should they have they have benefits of the doubt? In my opinion, yeah, they probably should get him, but the rules state that that's
You're
offside.
a defensive midfielder, mate. You're a fullback. You should be with the defensive union.
Not when I don't play in that sort of situation. So no, definitely not. Plus, I'm that old and slow now. We don't play the offside trap. That's just suicidal playing the offside trap at my level now. So
did you ever play when you were younger, where one person shouted now and everyone came up together and caught everyone offside? Did you ever try that?
Do they all stand like fairies, like Tony Adams, full Monty scene? Yeah, that thing. No, we never tried that. We were smart enough not to try that, to be fair.
Because you knew that there was always one dopey winger who wasn't completely, Bill's mate who's come in this week and he has no idea now. And then Bill's mate's keeping them all on side.
He's exactly. He's done you in, to be fair. So you can't, you got to leave that, to be honest with you, these days. So
I tell you what, Bill's mate's going on the shit list, mate.
Yeah, he probably is. He could be. Yeah. Poor bastard.
Dopey prick.
Yeah. But Mahrez had a good, obviously, game. He got 14 points with his 2 goals. His first finish was, really good, from the corner and, just placed it perfectly. Great technique to keep over it. And, Mahrez he's always, it's difficult to pick Mahrez, isn't it? Because he'll play for like 2 or 3 games in a row. Then he'll probably miss a couple of games. So it's you pet roulette in, and you just got to make those right decisions on when to get him in or not. And this week he was thankfully the right decision. The previous week I had him in, and he came on for 13 minutes and only got me 1 point. So I've experienced the highs and the lows of him in the last 2 weeks, really. But he played full 90, got 2 goals, and good from him. Then Timo Pukki got 8 points for Norwich for me.
Hey.
He scored a goal. He got 2 bonus points. And so fair play to him. That's good. I mean, he's obviously got 7 goals this season, so he's doing okay for a team that's not doing great. But I was happy with that. He's obviously got another game against Chelsea to play, so I don't really fancy him to get much from that. You never know. And then Mr. Sam Maximin got 1 point. He was obviously he was on the bench because he's obviously had a bit of a knock, but
means he'll play in the second game, you assume.
Yeah, I'd expect him to play against Southampton in the next game, and I mean another win for Newcastle there at Southampton.
Oh, honestly, it's just crazy. Yeah. Where's that team gone that couldn't beat Watford?
Exactly. Yeah, they've disappeared. They're long gone. They're long gone and out of sight now. They're a dot in the distance to you boys, nearly.
Yeah, 100%. Going for Europe, mate. Going for Europe.
Yeah, well, next season definitely. We've got the shout for you there, Connor, there in the pie chart group. Yeah,
I don't think he listened. I don't think he listened to the podcast. He didn't say anything to me.
Well, never mind. But then on my bench, McGovern in goal. He don't play. Weghorst got 2 points. Gordon got 2 points, and Cornet got 1 point. So at this moment in time, it's looking pretty good in terms of I've not put anything big on my bench anyway, especially with players who are on 1 point, hopefully playing again and getting clean sheets. So 67 points. Still some players, like I said, 6 players potentially to play. Need a Wolves clean sheet. A Wolves clean sheet gives me a chance in the game week. It gives me a chance, but only a small chance because I think Heath might have done a bit better than me so far, but I'll let him tell us all about that.
Before I move on to my All-Stars, McGovern must be the entertainment of your team, right? How he's still in your squad. He's sitting there every week doing absolutely nothing. He must be the entertainment. You must have got him in for the
Joker.
Exactly.
Joker, yeah.
Everyone must get on with
brilliant.
McGovern, right?
Yeah, he's the man. He's boosts morale when we need it. If the gaffer's having a bit of a bit of a rant at them all, he comes in with a little cheeky joke afterwards, and everyone cracks a laugh, and it's all good, and he don't mind playing second fiddle all season to whoever. So everyone needs a keeper like that.
He's going to be goalkeeper coach when he's older, don't you? He's learning a lot as he's going. He's probably an intelligent chap. He just doesn't have the skills to get into that first team. But fair enough.
Yeah.
All right, well. Let's come down south. Let's come down to the Southern All Stars. Okay, so at the moment things are going very well, and like State says, still plenty to play for. So Martinez in goal, clean sheet. Didn't have a huge amount to do. Southampton were pretty poor. Pretty disappointed with half my defense. Walker Peters. I mean, I guess if he didn't get the 1 point, then someone later on I'll mention wouldn't be getting the points that he got. So maybe I won't get too greedy. Luka Din injured. Realistically, I'm sitting here right. Well, he wasn't even injured. Apparently, he was ill. Come on.
You're hoping him and Josh King don't come on, so you get some Zaha points, aren't you?
No, I that's such a long shot, and I feel like I've got a bit of insider knowledge about that. So we'll come to that. Then Antonio Rudiger, yeah, he basically, I think for me, it was all about really Chelsea, to be honest, in certain aspects. And then you look at the rest of my team, it's all about the double figures, right? So Rudiger's got 6. Normally, I'd be like over the moon with that. I've got Norwich. He's still got Norwich to play. You never know. But Reece James, this guy, I brought him in this week. Poor old Cucurella, he's left my team after many weeks in there. I thought that guy was going to hit it big time in the Southern All Stars, but unfortunately never quite made the grade. But Reece James has come in and he's got 18 points. There are people out there who captained Reece James, and I say fair play to them, but they're ballsy, but they're nuts. Honestly, they are nuts. Well, the fact is that he was on a he was like semi-injured, and he came on, and even Tuchel came out and said that we weren't expecting to play James for as long as we did, but he kind of came through. He looked all right, but that doesn't tell me a man who's going to play. Well, let's be honest, he's not going to play 180 minutes. I mean, he might do, but I don't know if they're risking him against Norwich. Who knows?
You'd probably think that they wouldn't necessarily risk him against Norwich for as long. I mean,
he might play, yeah.
I mean, he might play for a bit, but I mean, you got to just, I suppose, they'll be thinking a few things, won't they, if truth be told, because you got to look at like what's going on in terms of fixtures now. So, yeah, they've got another game, obviously, coming up against Norwich. They could rest that, play Hudson-Odoi maybe there, if he's fit. So that could be something to do. Then they've got Newcastle on Sunday, haven't they? And then is it Wednesday? They've got Lille in the next round, in the second leg of the Champions League. Now, I know they've got 2-0 lead, but they're going away from home. So, I think, they're definitely going to have to sort of manage him because he has only just come back. But obviously, yeah, everyone knows he's got the capabilities, hasn't he, to score big. That's, I suppose,
I think it just comes down to the fact that if I'm Tuchel right now, my priorities are very much the 2 cup competitions, right? So FA Cup, Champions League. You're pretty much guaranteed to get third now, right? Exactly. So it's like I wouldn't expect him to play.
Arsenal win their game in hand on them. They're only 2 points behind them.
Yeah, so, true. I wouldn't expect. I think he'll probably play some part against Norwich, but he might be a sub coming on or coming off later, pretty early on if things are going to plan against Norwich. But anyway, I move on. My midfield were incredible this week. So Saka, I mean, this is one of those moments where obviously I'm disappointed for Watford, but happy for fantasy, depending on how you look at it. 12 points, was an absolute star. I really like Saka. I'm a big fan of his. I was really gutted for him in the Euro final because I just kind of thought that it showed a lot about his character that he wasn't afraid to step up and take a penalty, and it wasn't to be. And the good thing is that no one's gotten his case. I know there was a lot of racism straight after it from some numpties and stuff, and fortunately that kind of didn't seem to stick around like back in the day when people obviously the racism is still prevalent, social media and stuff. I'm not obviously suggesting that, but what I'm saying is that the direct abuse towards Sancho, Saka, and Rashford didn't stick around like it used to back in the day when we were younger. And if someone missed a penalty like Stuart Pearce or Chris Waddle or Paul Ince, David Batty, David Beckham. Well, I guess Beckham did miss a penalty bit when he got sent off against Argentina.
Yeah.
Basically, what I'm trying to say is that everyone looks for a scapegoat. Unfortunately, because we had 3 people miss the penalties, I don't think that they were used as a scapegoat. So hopefully he hasn't lost anything from that. But the guy is just on form at the moment. Like his stats are incredible. Honestly, it's so unlucky that there's all these double game weeks. I think it's really kind of well, my advice to a lot of people out there right now is go for double game weeks, but don't put all your eggs in that basket, because there are players out there getting double figures. Like Saka's got 12 points there. If you haven't got him in your team because you thought, oh, do you know what, I'm going to go with someone else who's got double game week. Well, more for you. But anyway,
I've got a double game week next game week. So
well, yeah. So maybe he'll kind of start jumping in some more teams. But Philip Coutinho, I mean, this guy is just brilliant. And, he is so up and down. He's changed my team. I think that just like Aston Villa, he's brought this new lease of life to the Southern All-Stars, and they've absolutely loved him since he's come in. 13 points and still one more game to play. And then my captain was Heung-min Son. I mean, only 7 points, but obviously double that to 14. But the fact is that, I was tempted to go for Kane, but I did think that Kane, I mean, he had that moment, like I say, he has those games where he seems to score big and then go quiet the next game. But he did get 13 points, so I should have gone with him. And looking at him now, I mean, now that he's got those big points against Everton, he always does well against Everton, actually.
Yeah.
But now that
people do well against Everton, though.
They do. But if you look at Kane now, he scored 5 goals. He's got 5 goals, 1 assist in the last 4 games. And that's the kind of Harry Kane we're expecting to see week in, week out, really. So who knows?
Starting to show that form now, in that quality that everyone knows he's got. He was always going to get back into things. Always. Yeah,
it's been a strange season for him. And then I don't think I need to really say anything else about my team, because I think the other 2 didn't turn up. So Emmanuel Dennis had a real good chance. I think he's
scored offside.
Yeah, but he seems to have some very good chances. It just doesn't seem to be. I think he takes the harder chances sometimes, but it just didn't go for him. Obviously, he had the offside, and King. I think he has a back injury. I believe. Oh wait, it says hamstring injury, so that's what I know. I mean, insider knowledge.
Yeah.
I think he had a back injury. Maybe he's got a hamstring injury too, but because I'm pretty sure they took a risk and just held him back for the Wolves game, thinking that they got a better chance. And to be fair, if you're a Watford fan, you see Dennis, Pedro, and Cucho as your front 3, you are quite excited about that. And King has been starting to get quite a bit of stick from the Watford fans, so maybe it was good to take him out of the firing line, I guess. So overall at the moment I've got 85 points. Foster on my bench, it was tempting to go for him because he had 2 games, but really home at Arsenal, away at Wolves, I think I made the right decision. Kieran Tierney, that was another tough one, because I did think that they were going to Arsenal, I don't know. I think I made a right decision. He only got 1 point because obviously they conceded twice, but I was a bit worried that he might have got involved and maybe got an assist or something, or even a goal. Then Zaha, I'll learn my lesson here. Although I think Palace have got some tricky games. They've got Man City at home, and then they've got a game week off, I think. So realistically, I probably won't be putting him in my team next week. But he got 8 points, and then Bowen. Injured 53 minutes and just a 1 point. Was playing Liverpool, so that's why he's my 3rd sub. But I don't know I don't know how bad his injury is going to be. I don't think it's as bad as everyone thought, but apparently it's an Achilles, and that's a bit of a nasty one. But yes, I can't complain. 85 points, and I've still got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 players to play. I'm looking for way into double figures, I guess. I'd be looking for 150 points, maybe.
Maybe not quite that many.
No, maybe not. But I'll be happy to get way into the hundreds, and also, I mean, we'll get to the main league, but I think I've made some strides up there. I mean, obviously, we've not finished the game week, so I can't get too excited, but I'm definitely in a good place. So
time will tell.
Time will tell.
that then leads us on to our shit list, doesn't it? So if anyone's not listened to this podcast before, why on earth not? We do a shit list every week. This is our favorite feature, probably, to be fair, because we keep it in there. And we encourage you to do a shit list. It's always good to put it on there. It really helps you get your anger out about things. Really does. Heath, who have you got on your shit list? You got a maximum of 5 things that you can put on there. That can be people, can be it can be anything, basically. Anything on your shit list.
Okay, so first of all, Bill's mate for keeping everyone on side. He's obviously going in there. No, I kind of, I feel like we need to have a special ceremony, right? Because this shit list, we really should be naming it after a certain Everton centre half.
Oh, he's on mine as well. Yes,
it has to be. It has to be the Michael Keane shit list. The guy scores an own goal. To be fair to him, obviously it was quite a difficult one to control.
Good thing is, if he'd have scored all own goals, I'd have probably had him on my hit list because it'll have then at least stopped Son and Kane getting more points for you. Probably that's the only good thing.
But yeah, you can see 5 goals, and you're Everton. I mean, I can't really remember Everton being this bad, and I really genuinely thought that they would turn a corner.
With the team. Yeah,
I hinted at it about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we were talking about the transfers and what they had done, and I was hinting at it, but I'll be honest with you, with the hope rather than expectation that they were going to fail. But the Dele Alli, the Van der Beek, they've even with Calvert-Lewin coming back and Richarlison's playing, Doucouré's back. I know they're still missing Yerry Mina, but this is now past the point of it being an injury crisis, and that's the reason why this is happening. There's something really pretty rotten, and now it's like it's all defenders' fault. It's the defense, their championship defense. That's the easy get out. There's something really wrong in that club. I don't know what's going on, but I love to see it. I'm not going to lie to you. There's a little bit of bad blood between Watford and Everton, and as Everton are such a big club, it's lovely to see a big club like Everton being brought down to life a little bit. And
hashtag bitterness.
Yeah, we can only dream. We can only dream that they take one of those 3 places down to the Championship next year. That would be amazing. But yeah, so Michael Keane has to be on there really, and he has to be the new Michael Keane list really going forward. And to be honest, I mean, there wasn't really too much from my perspective that I could be quite disappointed about. I was going to put the Watford strikers on there, but if I'm being honest with you, that would be a bit harsh. Realistically, I wasn't expecting much from them. So, and we nearly kind of didn't talk about them last week because you didn't even think they were going to do anything, which was the right kind of call. But yeah, my shit list just has one player and one player only, and that is Michael Keane. How about you, mate?
Well, Michael Keane was on mine as well, but we don't need to discuss that.
Double Michael Keane.
Yeah, double Michael Keane. So
you know what's going to happen, mate. You know what's going to happen. They're going to come to the Vic, and it's going to be 1-0 Everton or 0-1 Everton. Michael Keane header, 3 bonus points.
Yeah, 3 bonus points.
Oh, mate, that's what's.
I'll tell you what. If depending on how things are looking, as long as it's not too bad, I could put him in my team for that game.
Make him captain.
We could have a. Yeah, no, whoa, come on. I'm serious now, Heath. This is a serious podcast. Bloody, I'll make him captain. All right, I'll make him captain. You got to make Musa Sissoko captain for that same game.
Fine. I've got to strategize to get Musa back in at some point.
Yeah. When are they playing? Is it last game of the season? Have they still got a game?
I don't know, mate. I think it probably has to get No, I think we need to rearrange it. It's got rearranged because Everton are in the cup, I think, still. So
yes, they beat Bournemouth, didn't they, the other night? So
yeah,
fair enough then. Well, yeah. So Michael Keane's on my shit list, obviously, because like as we've already explained, Wolves are on my shit list as well so far. They could come off it though, so it's a halfway point shit list really. So Wolves are on there. Obviously, for just being so bad against Palace and not doing anything for me. But that's what happens when you put a lot of your eggs in the same basket, I guess. So could be my fault if people want to look at it that way. I don't look at it that way, though, just so you're aware. Okay? Then we've got VAR again is on the shit list just for the inconsistencies. That's really the problem here. And I just don't like Heath mentioned earlier, how's Mane's goal onside and then Lukaku was offside the other week. And it's because you're looking at the lines there, they look identical. So it is just that consistency really that we need to be asking for. And it's just not happening still at the moment. And we probably talk about that every week. There's something going on with it. And I think that's the real problem about it. Yes, I'm not saying it doesn't do good. It does, but there's got to be some sort of line of consistency. I mean, I was at the Sportsman's dinner with Dermot Gallagher at the weekend, and I said to him, "So Dermot, what do you think of VAR?" And yeah, he had different views about it. To be fair, as well. So, but I think it could be great, but it's just the consistency is not there and everything. And like I said, I have to just call it again, for what it is. So next on my shit list is pretty much all of Heath's midfield, basically in his squad. So Bukayo Saka, Son, Coutinho. We'll add Reece James in there as well, and Harry Kane. May as well just add most of Heath's team in there. But what you're doing, what you're all firing for in the same game week, that's just poor form. It's inconsiderate. It's rude. It's really rude. So so you're all on there, and hopefully next week I can put you on a hit list because you've all been super shit and don't get any points. That would be my preference anyway. So so congratulations, on my shit list, you lot. So that's it for me. To be fair, this week, I did think about putting Rotherham on the shit list for being 1-0 up at home against Milton Keynes, who had a man sent off and losing 2-1, which now gives them a good chance to get close to us in the league tables. So, but I won't do that because, well, let's be honest, I'm used to this sort of thing from
this
the day I was
is
born.
normality, isn't
this
it?
This is Rotherham, this is Rotherham.
Yeah.
So I won't do that, and we are still top of the league, so you are going to drop some points here and there. So that's it for my shit list. To be fair, because I'm still having an all right game week myself. It's not the end of the world yet, but it's just disappointing in the head to head. Really, that's the only thing that's down about it. So
Hey, that's a good shit list. I like it. And like as much as Michael Keane is on both of ours, I think VAR is very close as well because that seems to be on there quite often as well. But I think Keane's on there just a little bit more. So the Michael Keane list going forward has to be. But yeah, good stuff, mate. So let's move on to the. I'm obviously rushing this because I'm quite excited. So you have to mention me, mate. You have to mention me. So the North versus South mini league update. We obviously have a group of individuals. Got how many players we got nowadays? So we've got 31 players. I don't think they're all playing, but I think that the majority of them are, and there's some good scores. So, State, what's happening with our mini league with our mini league?
Well, we've with some good scores this week. To be fair, from a lot of people, so which is good. The bottom few are the bottom few. Let's I'll quickly say Mr. High Tech FC, our man, Mr. Samuel Diamond, 42 points. Again, I mean, he's still got Ishmael Assar in his team, Antonio captain, but he's not got half as many reds there anymore. But again, I don't think he's done much with his team for a while now. So it's so never mind. So he's still at the bottom, and with El Badger Poopers, Nick Edwards with a big 30, he's definitely not done out for his team. Yeah, so enough about the lower ends. Obviously, Ned Starks, my dad, Harrison Copley, 31 points with his North team. Eddie Moran, 44 points. Eddie, King in the South, still you and Harrison, you're still ahead of him. So, and I don't see him catching you at the moment. But yeah, those are like the low scores. There was a couple of low scores. Spud United from my work, Ryan Bennett, 31 points. Bennett, brilliant. He's got Ronaldo in his side. He's got bloody Edouard didn't play. Bowen didn't have all. Oh, he's got Dennis as captain, so maybe. But I mean, to be fair, he gives a lot more attention to his Sky Fantasy team, and he's doing quite well in that. So that's maybe his excuse if he uses one. But then, we've got some good scores. A lot of people in the 60 plus region. Mazza's King Gary 11, Big Ben, 68 points at the moment. Well done, mate. You know, you've done all right there, and you've still got Ward Prowse as your captain and another game. I bet you were thinking, why didn't I put it on Havertz now? But yeah, if you've got Havertz in your team, you must have been convinced he was going to play. So why didn't you think that? But yeah, we've got three players with over 80 points this game week. The number one man is actually Chris Harrigan, another person who's got an All-South team. So the best All-South team in this game week is you, Chris. So well done to you. The best All-South team. I mean, the fact that you got 88 points as a Southern team is fantastic. No one else has done that as a Southern team this game week. And yeah, you've still got players to play. You've still got Rudiger, Mount, James, Ben Foster. You got Watkins still to come in. So I mean, you got Ben Davis on your bench with 6, but yeah, you've got a good chance of being the best Southern team in this game week in our league. And fingers crossed for you, pal. I hope you make it. Really do. Okay. And then the other person with 84, Connor Tobin. He's from the pie chart group. He's got nice 84 points. He's still got some players to play there as well. He actually captained Reece James. So if Reece James plays again, he's definitely on for, and he does well, he's definitely on for a big score. He's got Coutinho, he's got Southampton, 3 players in there as well. So he could be on for a biggie as well. So yeah, well done, boys, on the 80 pluses. So congrats there. And I mean, top of the table still Kevin Bernard with 1864 overall. John Rogerson, Betty Swallows, 1741, leading the best of the rest. But Connor Tobin's caught him up big time. So it's now we're looking at a 5-way battle for that second place now, to be fair, from Leonie Cameron at 1723 all the way up to 1741 with Betty Swallows, John Rogerson. I'm still top in terms of the people who've done an actual North or South team. I'm up to the top 10 again, so that's good for me. Heath, you're up to 16th, so not a bad bit of movement there. And and you could go, and the chances are you'll go up a bit higher than that, to be fair, I think, because you're only a few points behind the next two, and looking at their sides, they've not got much coming in.
Oh, Bradley took a -8. Oof, jeez.
Brad
Got
was up there,
his captain right though.
Yeah. Well,
Coutinho, by the way.
Right. Yeah, he needs Coutinho to do something again, doesn't he, for him? But
that must be quite embarrassing for Bradley to know that you and I have only picked players from a region. Yeah. He's had to pick from everywhere, and he's below us.
Yeah. I mean, his fall from grace has been brilliant as well. I mean, that season when Chelsea won the league, and the following season we just ended up being like in 12th place or something like that. Well, it's like he's done that, but he's just done that all in one season, so he hasn't gone and won anything. He was in like the top 4 or 5, looking like he was competing. We ignored him completely all the way through that. We didn't want to give him any sort of congrats, no kudos.
And we were right to do so.
We were, because we knew
he was going to fall away.
And that's, when you call your team Fornals a tie now, I mean, Fornals hasn't even been that good this season, has he? So yeah, never mind. He's faltering like West Ham are faltering basically in the league at the moment. So there you have it. But yeah, it's good to see somebody falling like that. We're very happy to do that, and let's see if that continues for a bit longer. But yeah, so again, as always, thanks to everyone who's in the league, and plenty of game weeks to go still. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, and before we move on to our scouted teams, we also have to mention the head-to-head. State is currently 3 points ahead of me in the head-to-head with this game week that we're halfway through. So, could be all square. Could be all square, mate.
Square with State ahead on the total overall points.
50-odd points, isn't it, really?
Well, we'll see. We'll see how much time will tell. But don't you worry. I've got plans.
What about the idea of bringing in Mane for Salah? Are you not tempted?
No.
Good.
Might bring in Mane and have him and Salah. That might be a better idea.
Do it. Okay, right. I needed that. I gotta be honest. I needed that. It's been a tough season for me.
Yeah, no, you've stuck at the task well. Stuck at the task, so can't grumble about that. But yes, so it moves us on to our next sort of feature, which is one which we haven't had for well, he's not done one for a little while. I did one about probably 3, maybe 4 podcasts back, but it's a scout team. And he said he wanted to do a scout team this week. So I said to him, great. He probably had an idea who he wanted to do. And I was like, fuck that. You're not getting to choose. I'm going to get to choose. So let's put the team that you hate the most in the Premier League, Crystal Palace. Yes.
All right. Okay. I don't even hate them that much now. I respect that they're a lot better than Watford. That when I hated them was when we were very, very close as 2 sets of clubs. They've gone past us. I respect that. They play football the way they do. I think Roy Hodgson being the manager for so long, I like Roy. I liked him before he joined Watford. So I feel like the hate, because of Roy, I feel like the hate disappeared. And I think I just grew up, to be honest. But yeah, the Crystal Palace are an interesting team. So if you're not aware, so I think I stated before he was going to actually say, but with our scouted team, we have 5 different sections. So we have a good from afar, far from good, which is a good player but a low scorer. We have a differential, which is like an underestimated big point scorer. A newcomer, a new player to the league, which is quite tough because Palace didn't sign anyone in January. A set piece extraordinaire, someone who takes their free kicks, corners and penalties, and captain fantastic. So who's their consistent scorer? If they were playing Norwich and Watford at home in a double game week, who would you captain? So yeah, so that's how we've set this up. And realistically, Palace have been brilliant. As soon as State said go for Crystal Palace, I just thought, oh fuck, that means I've just got to watch those fucking highlights again at Vicarage Road, which was really, it was painful. As much as I don't hate Palace now, it's still painful to see that happen. I'm still not a biggest fan of Wilfried Zaha, who is absolute talent, but a wind up. He's one of those players that if he plays for your team, you love him. But if he doesn't, I can't think many clubs must like Wilfried Zaha, just because he's a dangerous football player, but it just seems like he's always in the middle, and he's always in the middle of something. He's always going down. He's always arguing. He's always getting upset about nothing from my perspective. But then, like I say, Watford have had a handful of those players over the years, and I know exactly how it. Deeney must have been a good example of someone that is very dislikable as a player, but if he plays for your team, you love him. Anyway, so Crystal Palace, interesting team because they have been on form and they've hit form around this time where probably people weren't really picking many of their players. And Zaha is a great example of that. Someone who has been scoring some big points recently. Myself took him out, put him on the bench against Wolves because I thought Wolves away would be a very difficult game. I think we both called a Wolves win for that in our predictions to come. But the fact is that Zaha, takes the penalties, therefore he's always got a chance. And I think Palace are exciting. They seem to be a good counter-attacking team, and they've got plenty of pace, plenty of energy, and they seem to tick quite a few different boxes. They don't have a lot. I think at one point Palace had quite a predictable team with 2 wide men, a striker, a couple of holding midfielders, and they were quite well organised. Now it just seems that they've got some skillful players, they've got some pace, they've got some battling players, they've got some players very good with the ball. Their defence is well organised from, I would assume, from the Roy days, but they are pretty suspects at set pieces. But realistically, they don't concede a huge amount of goals. They do concede goals, but I think that they've done really well. Picking players from Crystal Palace, I would say that at the moment, looking at the fixtures, without the extra fixtures being added in, I would say you're looking at game week 34 because there's quite a few greens there. And then the only caveat to that is that I often find, and I could be wrong here, but when there's a team who's been fighting relegation for many seasons, when they get past the 40-point mark, there's often that kind of taking the foot off the accelerator moment, and they don't often seem to have that same fight and spirit as they did when they were trying to get to that 40-point mark. I could be wrong, and maybe I will be wrong with Palace, because Palace have had a very interesting season. So, but that would be because I think they've got Man City coming up, and then they've got a blank game week, and then I think they've got a couple of tough games after that, and then they've got another blank game week. So, we'll see how they go. Are they still in the FA Cup?
Palace are, yeah, they're in the quarters.
That's right, yeah. So they might be putting more eggs in that basket as well. You never know. So I would be, before I say all this about the individual players, I would say just bear that in mind that they're still in the FA Cup, and again, they might be kind of
Everton
in
the Everton in the 6th round. So
that's right.
Yeah, a couple of weeks time. So it's big one.
So I think I start off with good from afar, but far from good. So I've got to go for Christian Benteke.
Yeah,
that's actually a joke, but you didn't laugh. So actually, maybe that was maybe that's not a very good joke. No, Benteke's played his part, but seriously, I think I've got to go Will Hughes. Just as a big Will Hughes fan, the guy is just a great football player to watch. I loved him last season when we were in the Championship. He was almost like a quarterback for Watford. He just dictated play, played at his own pace, gets stuck in, isn't afraid to kind of, throw himself about. And, that's what fans want from a centre midfielder, really. I think the only problem with Will Hughes was that he just always found that he was being moved around for different players because he never really got a place in the team until last season. And then obviously we didn't offer him a new contract. But he's a fantastic football player. I love to watch him play, but he doesn't really score many points, to be honest, in the fantasy. He looks like he's more. It's not. I wouldn't say a holding midfielder, but he plays quite a deep kind of like playmaker kind of position, I guess. So I would say that for him. Then I would say differential. So I am looking at Jean-Philippe Mateta only because I don't think anyone's got him. And he scored a couple of goals recently. I'm not saying to you to get him in your team, but all I'll say is that if Palace keep the form they're going on, they may not beat Man City at home. But the fact is that if Mateta scored two goals in the last 3 games, I would be surprised if Vieira drops him. The only thing that, again, that caveat that I mentioned earlier, the FA Cup, maybe you might put him in for the FA Cup and maybe rest him for the league if he thinks they're safe. I don't know. But that's just an interesting player. They've put some trust in him since they made that loan deal permanent. And to be honest, I was quite surprised they made it permanent. I thought he was on his way. I thought that they were going to focus on Edouard, who I've looked at him thinking that he's going to be that player, and he hasn't quite made it. But for whatever reason, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because he doesn't work that hard or he hasn't been getting the goals, assists, and all that. But they're the strangest team, Palace, because it seems like every time they score, it's anyone but their strikers, isn't it? But they play their part. Then I'm going to go into the newcomer. Now, I know he didn't technically sign in January, but he signed in the summer. But I would say that we talked about him earlier in the season as like a potential player who could be interesting to watch, and that's that Michael Eaaagggllleeesss. I think I don't know if you saw his assist for Jeffrey Sloop against Burnley, but the way he moves the ball from left foot to right foot so quickly without looking like he is even trying, it's like he's almost going at a snail's pace. And yet he kind of embarrassed the Burnley defenders by doing it, and he just put a cross in and made it look so simple. I think he's had quite a few chances where keepers have made good saves in the last few weeks, and I think he is a proper player. I think most Reading fans will tell you that, or anyone who watched Championship with him playing. But I think it's just taken a bit of time to bed into Palace. But I think he'd be an interesting one. I know he's not technically a newcomer, but I think he could be getting his run in the team now when they are in a relaxed state, because let's be honest, they're not going to get relegated. So
no.
Yeah, I think he'd be an interesting one to look out for. Again, there's so many good players out there that I'd be very surprised if you guys are listening right now and going, got to get Eaaagggllleeesss in. But it is what it is. I've been given a team that I didn't particularly want, and I've had to run with it. No, I jest. But yeah, set piece extraordinaire. Conor Gallagher with the free kicks and corners. Sometimes Mihailovic, I think he will take him if he's playing. And then you got Eaaagggllleeesss might come and take a couple. But really, Conor Gallagher seems to be kind of taking that mantle. And then, as we said earlier, Zaha's on the penalties. I think he missed one a couple of weeks back, but the fact is that he took the one against Wolves. So my thought behind that is that the fact is he said I want the penalties, and that the fact is he gets them, because he's a Palace legend. And that moves on to Captain Fantastic, who is, I think earlier in the season you could have hinted towards Conor Gallagher, because he was showing some incredible stats for someone who was a box-to-box midfielder, but I am going to have to go with Zaha. The fact is the guy is incredible for Palace, and even when he scores big and he gets big points in FPL, he still has so many chances that it doesn't, he still could have scored even more. But seems to have that way of getting the ball in his left or right foot and just hitting that ball cross goal, just wide or just saved or whatever. And he probably wanted to move on at some point. And after he moved to United, it didn't work out. He probably wanted to move on since then, but it hasn't worked out for him. And it's worked out perfectly for the Palace fans, because they get to see an incredible player week in, week out. What I like to see in a footballer is someone who gets the ball at their feet and their first thing is to run at a defender. That's great to see as a football fan. It gets you off your seat, you get excited, and then you're hoping that they've got an end game. Someone like Adama Traore, who I can imagine must be extremely frustrating to watch if you're a Wolves fan earlier on the season. But, again, someone who's not afraid to just go past the defender, and you'd hate to play against them. But yeah, that's my scouted team. I think it's straightforward as that. I can't imagine many people going for anyone barring Zaha, really. And even then, like I say, there's so many good midfielders out there that with their fixtures, probably best not to go for it. So in the end, don't go for any of these fuckers.
Yeah, but good scouted team, Heath. Yeah, definitely don't go from. That's exactly how you like to hear it, people. Yeah, yeah. We don't do the scout team to basically give you advice. People just remember that we do it to either satisfy our own sort of stance on that team or screw the other person over. Hence why I gave Heath Palace. But no. On a serious note, there are some Palace players, especially with the little bit of form they're hitting, worth looking at. And yeah, I think, like he says, a lot of it's obvious. You still probably, if you're thinking about Zaha, not many people obviously are, because I mean, I know it's obviously a lot of people, but 5.5% is his team selected by, so it's not exactly in the highs at the moment, and he's in a bit of form. I think Conor Gallagher's at like just under 14%, so obviously a lot of people are fancying him more than Zaha at the moment, but again,
just to kind of, I don't know if you're aware of this, but there's a lot of El Badger poopers out there where they've got like a team they've set up earlier in the season when Gallagher was on form and probably just left it and not taken him out. That's my assumption there. But yeah, probably, I mean, because I don't think you're going to see many people with Gallagher in the team nowadays who are in the top 1K or whatever. But yeah, let's actually, one other person I want to mention. I'm pretty gutted that we've not seen much of Eze this season as well, because he's just like Eaaagggllleeesss, someone you just want to watch, and looks incredible with the ball and just glides along the pitch. It's a shame he got that injury and has left him. I thought he was going to come back before like the end of this season, but it's not looking good for him at the moment. So hopefully we can see him soon.
Yeah. But fingers crossed, because he definitely was really good last season. Definitely agree on that.
Yeah. But
good, mate.
We move on to the North versus South predictions results. So if you've not listened to this before, this is basically State and I looking at all the teams North versus South and predicting which one's going to win or draw. So simple as that. And I believe that we have got a happy State.
Well, no, I think it's only because I think we're tied at the moment. So yeah, it's not too bad. But yeah, so there's still a few games to play. Actually, there's still 3 more for the midweek games on the Thursday night. So we'll have a full update next time. But we both went Burnley, Chelsea. We both went away win, so that came in. Newcastle, Brighton. I went home win. You went for the draw, so that puts me 2-1 up. Norwich, Brentford. You went away win. I went home win, so you got that. So 2-2. Wolves, Palace. I went draw. You went home win. Given how badly wrong you were, I should really get that point. But yeah,
It doesn't work like that, mate.
No, it doesn't. So neither gets that. Liverpool, West Ham, both home win. Spurs, Everton, both home wins. So we're all square, that's why I was happy, because I'm not normally. You normally kick my ass on this, to be fair. But we've got 3 games to go. So Southampton, Newcastle coming up. You've got the away win. I've gone for the draw. Wolves, Watford. I've gone home win. You've gone for the draw there. As long as it's a 0-0 draw, that's fine, Heath. I don't mind you being right if it's a 0-0 draw. I'll take that. And then Leeds, Villa, we've both gone for away wins. So we have both gone for 2 different sort of scores with the Southampton, Newcastle, Wolves, Watford. So hopefully there should be an outright winner there. But yeah, all square so far. But obviously the obvious ones we seem to have both got right. The 3 obvious ones, and then the 3 more difficult ones to pick, we've got 1 right each on those. So yes, it's still ongoing to do with that. And then obviously we've got this week's game week 29's ones as well to just quickly fire through, because there's a few games again on there. So we'll fire through these quickly. First game is on Saturday lunchtime, Brighton, Liverpool. Heath, who do you fancy there?
Yep, the North. Go for Liverpool.
Yeah, Heath away. I'm going away as well. It's Liverpool in good form. Then we've got Brentford, Burnley. This is an interesting one. So I'm guessing I'll go first here. I mean, obviously Brentford got that win. Burnley had a bit of form, but then they've come unstuck last couple of games. But they have played sort of decent sides. I'm gonna go for a draw on that one.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to go for a Burnley away win. I think they're going to bully Brentford.
Yeah, fair enough. And this should be quite an interesting game. Man U Spurs. Who do you think?
I will go for a draw. I think United were poor against City, but they haven't been that poor before, if that makes sense. They haven't been on terrible form with Ralph, and
No,
therefore
they haven't, to be fair.
I think that people get a bit excited when they don't go and get a result against Liverpool or City. It starts getting a bit.
Yeah,
I guess I understand why, but because of the rivalry. But yeah, I'll go for a draw with this one.
no, that's fair enough. No problem. I'm going to go for an away win now. I think
Nice.
Spurs are going to be ideal for counter-attacking United, and United are just shoddy at the back. So I think Spurs could play that one perfectly, potentially. Next up, Chelsea versus Newcastle. I'll go for a home win, I think.
Yeah, home win.
Okay. Then we go to Arsenal versus Leicester.
Home win, yep.
Arsenal don't look like the team that they used to be, where they
No.
fancy drop some points here at the moment, So yeah. Palace, Man City. Away win.
Yeah, away win.
There's a few on this one that are going to be pretty similar. Then we've got Arsenal, Liverpool, midweek game.
Oh, bring back Andre Arshavin, eh?
Yeah.
I think the Liverpool are going to have too much, but I'm quite looking. I think out of all those games, I think that's the one I'm looking forward to the most, because I think Arsenal, if they have that confidence, if they go and beat Leicester,
yeah, I'm going to go for the draw there. You see, because
nice.
they gave City a real go, in
They
that
did.
home game, and they should have got some out of it. To be fair, they should have probably won the game. They let City get the winner in the end. After obviously there was a red card and everything, but I think they've definitely got confidence, and they'll give Liverpool a real sort of tough game there. And I fancy them to get it'll be a score draw. Both teams will score goals, I'd expect, in that game. I know Liverpool tend to have Arsenal's number, but just something different about Arsenal at the moment, which is giving me a bit of confidence in them. I'm sure Liverpool fans will be like, what the bugger is he on about? Well, it's my prediction, not yours, so feck off. So yeah, that's it. So we'll get the full results out. We might just post it on Twitter to see at the end of Thursday, and just to say, right, this was the end outcome for the results. But yeah, we've got a few games again to look forward to next week.
Nice work, mate.
Leads us on to our game week preview, which I'm sure neither of us have sort of made out and out decisions yet, necessarily what we might do or think we might do. I suppose because we've still got, like I said, a few games still to play in this game week, so you just don't want to make too many rash decisions when you've got 4 more games still to play. So I mean, have you got any plans yet, Heath, or are you just thinking at the moment, just wait and see, obviously, which will be a big thing?
Yeah, I haven't got a huge amount going on, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, I'll run through my team of what I've got at the moment. The one thing I was so impressed with both Arsenal and Spurs, I am tempted because they've both got doubles to make a couple of transfers, so I'm maximising both Arsenal and Spurs for the doubles. But anyway, Martinez in goal. I don't think that. I suppose I could go for Foster against Southampton. You know, Martinez against West Ham. I don't know. I actually think you could toss a coin for that one. But I'm definitely going to stick with Walker Peters for Watford at home. Luca Din, I don't know how bad his injury is. Again, we'll find out if he plays in the second game or not. Reece James and Rudiger obviously are going to be in the team. Kieran Tierney's got to be in the team. Saka's got to be in the team. Like say, Tierney and Saka are both playing Leicester and Liverpool. Both at home though. Again, if it was Leicester away, Liverpool at home, maybe I might not be getting so excited about it. But they're both playing. They're both of the games are at home. Then I say United and Brighton away as his fixtures. Coutinho, West Ham away. I feel like Coutinho is just never present now, and Kane. Now the other one. So I've got Dennis, King, Bowen, Zaha. Zaha, I probably keep on my bench because they've got City at home. Dennis and King, I've got to get rid of either one or not both. Again, see how they get on against Wolves. And Bowen, I don't know how bad his injury is, but honestly, when I hear that someone's injured their Achilles, I don't like the sound of that, especially when they've got pace like Bowen. So although they got, if he's fit and he can play, then maybe I'll put him in because they're playing Villa at home. So we'll see. But I'm really tempted to go for that Kulusevski for Spurs. He just looks like lively. Or maybe Matt Doherty or Serge Reguilon if Sessegnon's injured. You know, I want to jump on this Spurs team because even if they have a bad game and then a good game in the head-to-heads, that could really help me out. So yeah, that's my situation. And captain wise, I mean, realistically, probably Kane or Son, really, I guess, unless I bring in Kulusevski and I feel brave. But how about you, mate? How's it looking?
Yeah, well, basically, there's two options basically for me. I'm either going to make one transfer or I'm going to make no transfers because, you know, I'm not massively disappointed with what I've got. Got Sarr in net, there'll be Cody, Cancelo, Trent with 2 games for Liverpool. I'll have Anthony Gordon for Everton, 2 games, both at home, and, you know, against the winnable games. And I think Everton have shown enough in the home games under Frank Lampard to show that, yeah, they're going to be probably a lot more dangerous at home against teams. And he likes him. You know, he's been playing every game since Frank's taken over. So hopefully he can pick up maybe a goal or two. Who knows? So yeah, he's in there. Mo Salah, he'll be my captain. 2 double games for Liverpool. They're not going to rest him against Brighton or Arsenal, where they need to keep winning and keep that pressure on City. They can't afford to be slipping up. And then I've got De Bruyne and Mahrez as well. I think De Bruyne will play. Mahrez, I'm unsure about at the moment playing. Weghorst, Pukki, and then St. Maximin as the front 3. St. Maximin, Newcastle have 2 games, so hopefully if he gets through the second game this game week, he'll be back playing and starting for them for sure. He's their best player. He's their
Were you not tempted to go for more Newcastle players this week because they got 2 sets of double game weeks?
With St. Maximin being injured, it's difficult to see who's the one who's going to get the points for Newcastle. You know,
Mate, Fraser or Willock, I guess. But
see, I've got a mate who captained Willock this week, and yeah, not paid off. And there's a reason why it not paid off because he don't score regular points. So no, it won't really something that I'd have seen on that front. To be fair, and felt it was worth doing something to cost me points to do that. So no, I was not fair for enough. Me. And that, but my consideration is whether to bring in another Liverpool player with them having a double game week. I know I'd bring in Van Dijk. Can afford to bring him in. If I take out Cancelo, I can bring in Van Dijk. You know, for the double game week. So that's what I'm thinking. So I'll either do that or I won't do anything. That's probably going to be me for this week. And so with them playing Brighton, they could definitely keep a clean sheet there. I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet against Arsenal, but you know, you could get a goal from a set piece because you know he's a big lad as well as Van Dijk. So that's my option really. I think there, which I'm considering doing. I think Cancelo will start against Palace. He'll probably do all right against them, but same time, double game week for Van Dijk. I fancy him to do more.
Yeah, sounds good, mate. I'd like to say so much to be played in this game week still that we probably won't be getting too excited about next week yet. So, but we'll give you the feedback next week anyway. But yeah, now our final part of this fantastic podcast is a quiz that State has very kindly prepared for me. I know as much as the listener knows right now, I have no idea what it's about. I have no idea how it is going to be. So, State, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had this idea a little while back. So when you came up with this, I was happy to do it, and because it's further on in the season, it's probably a bit better to do it as well. So I'm going for a goal and assists combined quiz. So basically, I'm going to give you two players, Heath. You're going to say who's got the most combined goals and assists, basically, so far in this season's fantasy football league. So
Like it.
to that.
I like it, mate.
50-50, you know, so you're all in good form there. I'm not going to put a punishment on this one, to be honest with you. I think at the moment,
I've had quite a few, to be fair, out of
well,
the two
yeah,
of us.
that's because you're just not good enough either getting me to get things wrong or getting my ones right. So, and with this being 50-50, I don't want to risk it, to be fair, because you could just get a lucky streak here. But I've gone for hopefully ones that you know won't be so obvious, but then there might be some that I'm bluffing you on. Who knows? So it'll be interesting.
I
You're not
know,
always,
I know. I can read you like a book, mate. I know when you're bluffing.
yeah. Okay, then that's fine. We'll find that out. Right. I think you've said this before and you failed.
And I failed, yeah.
So I think I have mentioned put in at least one player from every single team. Some teams will have more, some than others. Though. So first off, Cornet or Trossard, who has the most combined?
Hmm. It's a tricky one, but I think I'm going to go with Trossard.
Okay, that's one incorrect already.
Oh,
So Cornet's got 6, which are all goals. Trossard's got 5, 4 goals and 1 assist.
okay.
So you've got one wrong there.
Not a good
Next
start.
one, not a good start now, but it was a tough one, like you said. Next one, Jimenez or Philippe Coutinho. So Jimenez at Wolves or Coutinho at Villa.
I'm going to go with Jimenez.
Yeah, obvious one. Yeah, Jimenez has got 9. Coutinho's only got 6 at the moment, but Jimenez 5 goals, 4 assists. Coutinho's 3 and 3. So all level there. Next up, Timo Pukki or Richarlison.
Neither of them have had a particularly good season, really. I think Pookie, because I think he's had probably some assists that we haven't really talked too much about, and he has scored. I mean, he scored against us. He scored this week. Charleston, I can't. I mean, I'll go Pookie.
Yeah. How he got to Pookie, he's really, you were wrong, but you're right in terms of it is Pookie. So Pookie's got 7 goals, 1 assist, gives him 8.
All right.
Richarlison's got 4 goals, 3 assists, gives him 7. So yeah, Pookie's not been getting assists. So people, if you're thinking of a striker who can get goals and assists, do not listen to Heath's reasoning right there, please.
No.
You will get punished.
Pookie's
and that's
a greedy bastard.
And it's another thing about this quiz. You do get to see who's got like combines here, so it could give you an idea of who maybe to go for. So yeah, there you go. Your next one. So we've got Shea Adams at Southampton or Ivan Toney at Brentford. What are we looking at?
I'll go Adams. I'm going to go Adams.
So Shea Adams has 10. So he's got 7 goals and 3 assists. So that gives him a nice round 10. Ivan Toney, well, you're doing right if it wasn't for this weekend, Heath. So he's got 11, 9 goals, 2 assists.
Fuck me. Honestly, that the fact is that it was literally that this weekend, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he was only on 6 goals, 2 assists, so he was on 8. It'd have been
I didn't think he'd scored that many. They get quite a few penalties, didn't they, Jemmy bastards?
Yeah, they get the 1 or 2. So yeah, so he's had a belting week there. So then we go on to the next one. This is a good one. Harry Kane or Jamie Vardy? You got to remember, Kane's doing well now. Vardy had a great start to the season. Which way is which?
I think because you absolutely love Vardy, I reckon it's Vardy.
Ooh, wrong. I knew you'd think that, and that's where I knew I could bluff you. I told you I could bluff you. So Harry Kane, they both got 10 Premier League goals each this season, but Kane's got 1 extra assist. He's got 3 assists. Vardy's got 2. What you got to remember is Kane assists on plenty of times, Heath. There, you know.
It's good that you've kept with the difficult quiz theme that you had before.
Yeah. Yeah, well. So there you go. So yeah, Kane. So you got that one wrong. You've got 2 right, 3 wrong at the moment.
Wrong, yeah.
So,
I think if the listeners are currently hearing this, they're probably thinking to themselves, well, they probably have got similar stats to me, I reckon.
No, I bet. No, most will have 4 out of 5 here. I bet.
Okay, well, we'll see. Give us feedback if you do.
Yeah, definitely. Then, so next one, James Maddison or Saint Maximin?
Because Madison's had that little run, but then he was pretty poor at the beginning of the season. St. Maximin's getting points regularly, so we'll go with St. Maximin.
Incorrect. This isn't close. Maddison has 13. St. Maximin's got 10. 13. 7 goals, 6 assists for Maddison. St. Maximin's got 5 goals and 5 assists.
And you're saying that's not close?
No, that's the second biggest gap between them all.
And that really says something about your quiz.
Not really.
More than anything.
Not really. You should have an idea. So yeah. So that's another one incorrect.
You know where this becomes a little bit difficult for you, mate. You know where this becomes a bit difficult is where you're asking.
Well, I'm not going to say Mo Salah versus
you're asking me.
Sarr, am I?
You're asking me Northern players who I haven't picked all season, and I don't know their stats because why would I?
Well, to be fair, beforehand, Trossard Southern, Coutinho Southern, Che Adams and Tony were both Southern, and you still didn't get that right. So that was even in your specialist.
I haven't been looking at their stats. Neither of them have come close to my team.
Well, maybe that's the problem. Yeah. Never mind. Next one. Rafinha or James Ward-Prowse?
Okay. James Ward-Prowse.
You're just terrible. Absolutely terrible. Rafinha's got 11. He's got 9 goals and 2 assists. And James Ward-Prowse is on 10 at the moment. So, yeah, that's an incorrect one again, Heath. Ward-Prowse just to make you wear 6 goals, 4 assists. So, God's sake, you can't even get 50-50s right. You can't even get a run on that. I mean, what I hope is that. Here you go, right. Got to get this one right. Cristiano Ronaldo or Reece James?
Reece James.
Oh, my God, Heath, come on. He's been out injured for most of the year.
Reece James.
No. Ronaldo has got 12 overall, 9 goals and 3 assists, right?
Really?
Yeah, he's probably scored more goals than you maybe thought. But as Reece James, although if Reece James had played the full season, I'm sure he'd be ahead of Ronaldo. But he's got 5 goals and 6 assists, so he's only got 11 combined at the moment.
Wait a minute. So and Chelsea have still got a game to play. So actually,
yeah, but
we'll come back to this
moment. No, the quiz is right at this. We're not doing it that way. It's my quiz, not yours. So yeah, fine. Sticking with a Chelsea player. So the next one, Mason Mount or Emmanuel Dennis.
It's Emmanuel Dennis all day long. 100%.
100%, eh?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
He was like the most amount of assists and goals at one point.
At one point, maybe. Yeah, that was after like 3 games, mate, when Salah hasn't started his real form.
But behind Salah, sorry.
Nah. Well, so yeah, Dennis is the winner. So Mount's got 7 goals, 7 assists for 14. Dennis has got 9 goals and 6 assists, so he's got 15.
He's not getting them now, though, is he, the dickhead?
No, he's not. He's not. So yes, but yeah, he's that one. Next one, João Cancelo or Mr. Andrew Robertson.
Oh, it's a trick question. This is a trick question. I know this is a trick question, but I'm going to fall into the trap. I'm going to go with Cancelo.
You did fall into the trap as well.
I knew it.
Well done.
I knew
To
it.
be fair, so Cancelo's got 1 goal and 8 assists, so he's got 9. Robertson's 1 goal and 10 assists, so 11. So neither of
10
them getting any goals.
assists.
Yeah, Robertson's got 10 assists.
Yeah, it's good to see we're doing the Southern players.
Yeah. You had Mount or Dennis a few goes back. Reece
Yeah,
James.
I got that one right.
Yeah, you got the Dennis one right. Yeah, that's your own team, of course. You were going to go for him even if you'd have gone for Dennis, even if you thought it was wrong. To be fair,
Let's get through this, all right, mate. All right, this stinks.
Right, next one.
Stinker of a
Next
quiz
one.
for me.
Right, next one. Trent Alexander-Arnold or Conor Gallagher?
Oh, it's another trap. Another trap.
There's a Southern player there for you.
There is, and I'm gonna fall into that trap again. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna think that by now you're gonna think that I wouldn't go for Trent.
Well, no,
I have no idea. I have no idea.
I did this list this afternoon, so
No, you've said that you did it early on the season. You knew full well how I was going to play this. So yeah, it's Trent. It's Trent.
It's not Trent. It's Conor Gallagher. Trent's got 13 and he's got 2 goals, 11 assists. Conor Gallagher's got 14, 8 goals and 6 assists.
Well, what a good quiz.
Hey, I've still got 3 more for you. So there you go. Now, this next one you can't complain about because it's 2 Southern players. So you got Jared Bowen or you got Heung-min Son.
Ooh, Jared Bowen.
Is correct.
Get him.
Jared Bowen's got 21. He's got 8 goals and 13 assists.
He's having an absolute screamer of a season.
Yeah, the assist I think is what people are probably more shocked by. Son's got 11 goals, 7 assists, so he's got 18. So 21-18 to Bowen there. You know, Son still, as always, having a good season, but Bowen's obviously doing a bit better.
That was the thing. I actually thought to myself a couple of weeks ago, because Bowen's form was so good, I was thinking, could I actually have a set and forget captain here? But then he got injured, and also his form fell off, and West Ham's form fell off, and everything. So
exactly, yeah,
that disappeared. As soon as it appeared, it disappeared.
Yeah. Exactly, your idea probably cursed it. To be fair,
probably,
yeah. So 2 to go, and then your hell is over.
Okay? How many have I got at the moment? I've got 4. Have I?
You got 4.
4 out of how many have we done? Because, like I said, I've lost count because I've not been doing well. So I'm a bit of a poor loser, guys.
12, 4 out of 12.
Wow.
We've got 2 more left, so you can get up to 6 out of 14 if you do well here. So next one.
There's no fun on this, eh?
No, I know you'd have been bummed ages ago, wouldn't you? It'd have been a double fine for this.
Yeah.
Showing. Right, next one. 2 Liverpool players, just to make it good for your region, obviously. Mane or Jota? I think this is a tough one.
It is a tough one because I think Mane's gone under the radar this season. And I think a lot of people have avoided him and they've gone for Jota because they thought he's cheaper. I'll go with Mane.
Well done, Heath. You're correct. So
yeah, I knew he had a good season.
Both of them have scored 12 goals each. Mane's got 4 assists. Jota's got 3 assists. 16 to 15 on the combined.
I mean, if you're looking for value for money, obviously you go Jota, but still, at least I got it right.
yeah, that's the main thing. So then the last one. Bernardo Silva or Bukayo Saka.
So, like when you play football, you're playing 5-a-side and someone shouts out, next goal wins.
Yeah.
We're
not playing that. if you'd have been like close, then yeah, maybe. But you're 5 out of 13, so not.
Well, exactly. That's why you say next goal wins, because it doesn't matter what's happened before. You give everyone a bit of hope that there might be some excitement in that last question. You got to know this, mate. If we want to entertain an audience, we've got to keep them interested. Then you got to
invested already because you're doing shit. So yeah, they're all happy. Don't you worry about that.
All right. Well, I think again, this is. I'm not. Trap. I don't. Yeah. Again, it is a trap because I know, but Bernardo Silva basically had a fantastic start to the season, and Saka's having a great current part of the season. I think because Saka took a while to get going. I think he probably took him about 6 or 7 games to really start scoring or getting assists. I think I'm going to go with Bernardo Silva, and that's where I'm going to finish.
Lose the game. Yeah, you lost the game again.
Well, I'm glad we didn't do next goal wins, because I would have lost.
So Saka's got 8 goals, 6 assists, so he's got 14 combined. Bernardo Silva, 7 goals, 6 assists, 13 combined. 5 out of 14, Heath. Absolutely shite.
Yeah,
but don't worry about it, folks. Hopefully, it gives you a bit of an idea of some of the combined things. That was the meaning of this quiz. That, and to embarrass Heath, as always. That's something that I can do quite easily these days. So, or actually does it to himself most of the time. So it's even better.
If you listen to this podcast, right, I want you to please be honest and tell me what your scores were. Like, be completely honest. Just be honest with us. Tell us what you got. If you did better than I did, fair play. Tell me. I want to hear. I'm a competitive person. I'm going to assume that you guys struggled just as much as I did, but we'll see. But jokes aside, mate, I really love that. I love that. That's what an FPL quiz should be all about, to be honest. Maybe a little bit easier, but I love it. I think that's great. And it's a great way to finish a great podcast. Well, to be honest, because it's just been a bit of a crazy period for us, and we've both had so much going on. It's just lovely to kind of like come on this podcast and know that we can, enjoy ourselves and get a lot off our chests. But yeah, I mean, as usual, if you want to get in contact with us, or if you want to follow us or anything like that, our Twitter handles are FPL MVS for the North and the South Twitter page. Then we've got at FPL Southerner, which is myself, no underscore anymore, and at FPL _Northerner for state. Mate, I don't know how you're feeling right now, but I'm feeling pretty damn good just in general. And, I'm going to keep these pleasantries coming. I'm going to thank you for a fantastic quiz and a fantastic podcast.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Chief. Thanks for thanking me, and I will not return the favour. So brilliant. Well done.
That's the Northern way.
Thank you very much as well, pal. And we'll look forward to the next one.
Nice. All right, guys. Take care and see you soon.